coming to you from my backyard. And I've just been writing a response to a really thoughtful comment from DA, who has responded to one of the interviews with Lenny Bancroft, Narcissists versus Abusers. So in that little back and forth, I just admitted that I didn't really see a big difference between narcissists and abusers in that conversation with Lundy, and I was a little bit out of it. Had the earliest, I didn't know I had post-concussion syndrome, and I was kind of just kept waiting for him to, kind of get to the specifics. And if you go look at that, there's a lot of good stuff there, and I really respect Lundy. I was actually in his live group at the time doing I'm going to forget what the name of it is, but we would basically do this as a group. We would go back and forth and kind of help each other work through things emotionally. And out of respect, I don't think I pushed very hard with saying, can you tell me more or whatever. So that's a little bit of a regret that I have. But, if you want to read the comments, go check it out. But from that back and forth with this listener, we'll call this person DA, I was just thinking, part of the thing that I have not talked about is I'm in these groups for content creators, and I've seen that this tiny, unheard of topic of narcissism, which I started my podcast 9 years ago, now is a cash cow. So there are a lot of people popping up with podcasts, popping up with YouTube channels, shorts, and they're talking about narcissism the way they would talk about really anything in a relationship. And that's fine. It is a relational thing, but when you have no lived experience with narcissistic abuse and you start creating a channel about it or a podcast and you're interviewing people or putting yourself out there as an expert, I think it's just really watered it down. And what I want to say is that what I've seen is because of the amount of people who are going through this, there's a huge desire to learn more about it, to get validation. And I think many of us are also looking for answers on, okay, now I know all these things, but how do I heal? Yes, I may still have to deal with a narcissist or other narcissists who pop up into my life. But the main thing I want to know is, how do I release the programming that I got in this relationship now that I'm out? And how, if I have kids, how do I work with my kids through this so that they don't get sick mentally, physically? How do they stay well? How do we all thrive? How do we find a way to deprogram ourselves, reprogram ourselves from what we've been through? And what I see on these, it's whether it's podcasts, it's YouTube channels, it's social media accounts, Instagram, that's, and you can do really well if you come up with these narcissistic quote memes, shorts, things like that. If you want a lot of followers and you want to get traction quickly, you can put that stuff out there, and it's going to be a home run. You're going to do really well. So I haven't even posted anything on Instagram in close to 2 years. That's when my daughter got sick. But I got sick of seeing this, I'm trying to think of the right word, but it's almost like people were like vultures, just kind of honing in on this term, narcissism, narcissistic abuse, and really leveraging it to get views, to build credibility, to build a following. And maybe some of the people have actually been through it and have the lived experience, and so they're sharing things that resonate with them. But I see plenty of people who do not have the lived experience and are just kind of folding it into, let's say they talk about relationships. Well, they're going to they decide they're going to focus in on this one shred, one sliver of problems within relationships, even though that's not what they've been through. Maybe they've seen it with their clients or whatever, but they're not experts in it. They can't truly relate to it because they haven't actually been in it. And so they're talking about it and they know all the things to say to validate the sense of, feeling trapped, feeling angry, feeling duped, feeling like you got screwed over, or you made a big mistake, or you're a victim. It's like sealing you into this vacuum-packed, I am a victim of narcissistic abuse, and this is now my new identity, and I'm shrink-wrapped, and I'm going to walk around the world and be this way. And I've done it myself, and I've been trying to steer away from it for years. And I've done everything but give up my podcast, even though I've been encouraged, just drop it, do something else. But if I drop it and do something else, and I'm one of the people who sees that this other content out there is almost like, it's like having candy for dinner. It might feel good, but it's not good for you. It's going to make your teeth rot, right? So we're never going to feel good. We're going to feel validated. It's comforting. Somebody else has been through this, and it's going to comfort us and validate us. But is it going to make us feel better in the long run? No. So if you have a steady diet of that, you're constantly, if you know anything about Joe Dispenza and people like that, about your brain constantly being fed this information, you've got that path, that groove in your brain that's saying, I am a victim, I am a victim, I am this, and your identity is sealed with that. And the only way to get out of it doesn't mean you have to forget that happened, but you can focus it, just shift it a little bit in the direction of, okay, fine, but now I'm going to focus on healing, thriving, getting my life better, becoming a better communicator, becoming a better, detective of people's agendas, so that I don't have to end up with people like this again. And I know Boundary Boss, I like her a lot, Terry Cole, because she talks about what you can actually do to create more boundaries, right? That's really helpful. And I keep talking about Bethany Frankel, and she's not even using the word narcissism, but she's another example of somebody who's dealt with this personality type. She's not even using all of the terms, but we know that's what she's referring to. And she's talking about her experience and giving advice on how to avoid getting sucked into that situation. And if you are in it, how to get the hell out and keep your head on straight and not get your, pockets sucked of all your cash in court, in a court battle with somebody like this. So if you guys are watching this and you have people who you think don't just talk about the validating things and the things that are very comforting, but also talk about the healing piece, I would love to know who those people are for you. And I may be already consuming some of their stuff. I've tried to take a break because I'm in it again, and it's the same person. It's my children's father, and the last 2 years have been hell. And I'm very wary of consuming anything that puts me in the role of victim, because my situation is so extreme right now, and my life has been pulled to such a dark place with my children and my finances and my housing situation, my work, everything. I want answers. I want to know the best things. I want resources. I want people. I want answers. I want books. Those are the things that would help me. And I am in a weird spot. Did I think I would be here after being away from somebody for 8 to 10 years? No. So that's a cautionary tale. And believe me, I'm thinking about it. I'm creating and I will share my story, and I will try to, help other people avoid some of the mistakes that I see that I've made so that you don't have to go through this. But if you have resources that you want to share, names of people, books, podcasts, YouTube channels, coaches, programs where you feel like there's been an actual transformation, a mental transformation, a spiritual transformation, and a material, like their lives are materially better, whether they have more income, more freedom, they're healthier, their family members, their children are healthier, maybe they're remarried and everything's better. I would love to know who those people are and maybe feature them, because I feel like that is what we need to see when we're talking about this type of abuse. We can get plenty of validation in plenty of different places right now. What we really need to see is hope. We really need to see a way out. We need to see there's more than one way out. We need to see how to deal with this in a way that makes us feel like, yep, like people who are, survivors of war and just anything that will help pull us through and give us inspiration and motivation. I would love to share that on my channel, on my podcast, all of it. So, now you know why I haven't been doing a ton about narcissism, and trying to focus on income, thriving, the more marketing side of the stuff that I do. And I totally get that it doesn't necessarily feel like an overlap for some people, and they're like, wait, what? But some people, and I'm not even promoting myself or my content the way that I should, but it means a lot to me to still be a creator. That's why I'm doing this right now. I just got inspired, and I feel like this message needs to be heard for people who follow me, who are like, what the hell is going on with her? Well, I'm in hell. I've been in hell for 2 years. And I'm scratching my way out, scratching my way toward the light. And there will be a book, a TED Talk, a something, all of the above. I'm not there yet, so I don't feel like I can really share it. But my heart is with you, because it's not easy. Whatever hell you're going through, have been through, I feel you. And I would love to facilitate, even if it's not me, just shining the spotlight on other people who are creating more of a solution and less of the tooth decay and rot that we don't need. So So thanks for watching, and please feel free to comment, and let me know what your thoughts are on this. And you might disagree with me. As a content creator, I see a lot of background talk with people who create channels and platforms. And so if you're wondering what I'm talking about, that's where it's coming from. I'm in a lot of masterminds, I'm in a lot of creator groups, paid courses, whatever. And I see the thought process behind making the choice to focus on narcissism. And I assure you, it's not always people who have that lived experience. So anyway, that's my video for the day. Hoping you are well, and I'll talk to you soon.